All right, so we're going to get started here. I've got my back office opened up here real quick. Before we dive in and get to the Q&A, the way we're going to do this is I'm going to go ahead and take you all through some frequently asked questions and just kind of elaborate on some of the things that people have been asking me lately. And then also open it up in the end. So if there's any questions that I didn't address or anything you need me to clarify, we'll be able to do that together as well. So first thing I wanted to show you guys is, and the reason I'm in my back office here, is we added a couple things here recently that I wanted to show you under the marketing tab. And I put them down here, but I know some people aren't paying attention to this section. Make sure you guys are looking over this news and announcements section. Obviously, you guys are paying attention because you got here and you might have saw the Zoom link here. So that might be why you're here. But under the marketing tab, recently we added some marketing images that are sized for use on Facebook or for use on Instagram. So they're the same post, they're just sized properly for either of those platforms. And I'll be adding more of those as well. But one of the things I wanted to address, and there's a question I get, and this is the first question we're going to talk about. People ask me, do I actually need to market or promote my Dreamscape to make this work? And the answer is yes. You know, we do have a company rotator, but obviously as we get more and more people on the platform, it's going to take longer for the company rotation to get around. So it's not one of those things that you just want to post your Dreamscape and then sit on your thumbs and hope people get to your site. You know, the whole goal of doing the company rotator is obviously, as the company, we're at the top of this platform, and we didn't have a direct connection through our dream stream. So we wanted to rotate that and be able to share the money that's coming in to FollowFunding to be able to put that out into the community as well. So just like you guys, I'm only able to receive up to 50% of what's being donated. I have a maxed out Dreamscape, meaning I can receive up to 5,000. But in order to do that, I would have to have a $10,000 donation coming in. So for every 5,000, for example, that comes in, 2,500 is reallocated back out to the community. So the cool thing about this is I'm able to lift you guys up and help the community while while building this platform as well. And the whole idea or the whole reason behind that is, you've heard that saying, when people pay, they pay attention. My idea is when people get paid, they pay attention. So I like to do that as a way of helping the community grow. But to answer the question, yes, you do need to promote your Dreamscape. And one way to do that right now, we're going to be adding some additional things in here as well. We have added a webinar, which I'll talk about here in just a second. But one of the newest things that we added are these images, and to make it easy for you guys to share on social media, just kind of a way to get your initial circle involved in your dream. But, I had a guy I was talking to the other day, and he said, I'm it's kind of weird. I don't really want to share my Dreamscape with anybody. And we had a conversation. Well, if you're not willing to share your dream, then it's probably not your dream. It's really not your dream, or you would be willing to share it. That's a good indicator. If you're not really excited about sharing your Dreamscape, there's probably a problem. Maybe you need to come up with a better dream or something that's more in line with what you actually want to do. And that's something to think about, because if you are passionate about what it is you're doing, you're going to be more apt to share it, but you're also going to feel in line. So you're going to, in line with your purpose. So you're going to be, you're going to take more action, and you're going to be willing to put it out there. So just wanted to point these out. Use these images, get it out there. And if you don't feel comfortable sharing your Dreamscape right now, maybe rethink your Dreamscape. I mean, the beautiful thing about your Dreamscape is you have an edit button. You can go in there and change it. You can make tweaks to it. You might start with something that doesn't resonate with people very well, and maybe you go, well, let me think on this again and come up with a better thing that's more in line with what people would be willing to support. We're asking people to make donations and to connect to you. And think about that. When somebody connects to you, when they make a donation to you directly, and they connect directly to your Dreamscape, the beautiful thing about that is when they're promoting their own Dreamscape, they're also creating awareness for yours. So they're going to want to connect with something they feel, that they feel passionate about, or they feel connected to. So, just try to think about something that's going to resonate with the most possible people, that's going to connect. And a lot of people out there that are struggling, with debt and different things like that. Think about that. That's fine. It doesn't have to be some grandioso plan or idea, but try to put yourself in the mind of the person that's on your Dreamscape. When they're looking at that Dreamscape, you want to kind of put yourself in that mindset and say, okay, if I was reading this Dreamscape, would I want to help this person? And the reason I brought up the debt situation is some people have just posted things like, I want to get out of credit card debt, please help me or whatever. And that's fine. But the smart way to do it would be, I'm in credit card debt because of XYZ, and tell their story so other people can relate to the situation. So it doesn't look like hey, give me a handout. It looks like, hey, give me a hand up. I've been trying, this is what's happened to me, and try to connect emotionally with the person so they can feel connected. Some people are posting their Dreamscapes and not even telling us who they are. They just say, I need money, or I need this or that. And they're not really painting a picture as to who the person is. So a long answer to a short question, but the answer is yes, you do need to definitely promote your Dreamscape, get people on it. The beautiful thing about this is it's something that you can be doing on an ongoing basis. It doesn't have a monthly fee. It's got an annual fee of $50. So it's not like something you got to worry about doing, but make sure you take it seriously, because the people who take this seriously are going to be the people that get the most connections, and that's going to build the most leverage, and in turn, the most funding for whatever cause, dream, or whatever they're promoting. So keep that in mind. All right. So with that said, let's look at the other enhancement here to the marketing section, and then we'll go on to the official FAQ. So this is something that's been added to your back office if you've got an active Dreamscape. Some of you guys that are watching this, if you're on here live or if you're watching it after the fact, might not have actually got your Dreamscape posted yet. Remember, you've got to submit it, and then you've also got to get your donation processor set up. But as soon as that happens, you'll actually have a webinar link in your back office right here. So again, this lives under the marketing section. If you're on your home page, click on the marketing tab and then click on webinar link right there. Okay. And what you'll see then is a link that takes you right to it. So this is live and ready to go. This takes you to an actual, and I can open it up, takes you to a opt-in form. The people opt in here. So they put their information in, they hit register now, and then those people's information will appear under your activity link in your back office. So you'll be able to see. They'll also appear with a little like spider web next to their name, so they went to the webinar. But the reason I wanted to get this up for you guys is that some people have questions about this platform. This is kind of a paradigm shift, if you will. There's a lot of people out there that are chasing after money, and they've been involved maybe in a lot of home-based businesses or things of that nature. And they've kind of got to get their mind readjusted a little bit so that they understand this concept. Because again, I think the reason that people jump around from opportunity to opportunity and all these different things out there on the internet, you see somebody that starts something one week, gives up on it, starts something the next week. The reason you see that is because those people aren't doing something that actually fulfills them, that gives them purpose. So they're hungry for something that they feel in line with doing. And again, I know I'm not really just answering questions here. I'm talking kind of broad strokes, but this why workshop, which is what this webinar is, this why workshop here that you'll have to send people to, is designed to get people thinking about what it is they actually want to do. So they go through a process where we talk about, not only what the platform can do, but really get into their mind to help them understand what it is they actually want to do. Because once people are thinking about that and they have their dream defined, it's much easier for them to go ahead and take action and become part of the platform. So, if again, earlier I was talking about if you don't feel comfortable sharing your Dreamscape, maybe you want to go through your own why workshop, or you want to go through, if you don't have this set up yet, you can just go to followfundingwebinar.com and you can take a look at it. But the why workshop, when you're sharing it with people, make sure it has the / and your Dreamscape name at the end of it. That way they get tagged to you. But the beautiful thing about this is it's going to take you through an explanation of what it is and help you really define your dream. And then a button opens up, and when they click that button, it takes them to the Dreamscape of the person that sent them to the workshop. So it kind of helps people get their mind right before they go to the Dreamscape. So they're already in the right mindset. And again, a lot of people have been just blindly chasing money and haven't been really thinking about an actual purpose. And I find this is a great way to kind of bridge that gap and get people's mind right. So another tool that you can use in your marketing arsenal. And in this marketing section, we will also be enhancing this as well soon with some additional ways to market. Like I'm working on a direct mail strategy. We'll also be doing some online marketing strategies as well. And that why workshop will be where we send the people to, so they can kind of come up to speed and not just go directly to a Dreamscape. Because the only thing on the Dreamscape that really explains the concept is that 8-minute video, which I know you guys have all seen on your Dreamscapes as well. Okay, so with that said, that's the enhancements. Let's go in here to frequently asked questions. And I've got this light in my eyes, guys. So if I'm squinting, it's because I've got this bright light. I'm in a dark room here with a bright light in my face. So I don't know how smart that is, but I'm seeing spots. So I'll do my best here. The first question, again, we just talked about, do I need to promote my Dreamscape? Yes. How much should I donate to the community is something people ask me too. And again, we actually have a having trouble link on everybody's Dreamscape, and people hit that and they put their information. Some people have asked questions through that. We do encourage people to ask questions through the questions link that are actually on your Dreamscapes themselves. And I want to tell you guys this too. Don't promote like a website or a phone number or something on your Dreamscape. We'll actually flag that. That's against our policies. We want you to push all of your questions through that link. And the reason is, it's actually, as soon as they go through the link, it's going to tag them to you if they haven't been tagged yet. And simultaneously, it's going to give them a link to the blog, which is going to take them to this FAQ that I'm looking at right here. And so by tagging people, anytime somebody comes to the blog and any of the articles on this blog, and I'll show this to you real quick. Any of the articles on the blog have links in it that send them to yourdreamsfunded.com, which then looks the person up and finds out what Dreamscape they came from, and we'll put them right back onto your actual Dreamscape. So cool thing about the blog is once you have people tagged, this is a great resource for you. Okay. So I'm actually in this FAQ, and we're adding, as people ask questions frequently, we're adding to this. But the second question is, how much should I donate to the community? Okay. So again, the answer is in here, but I'll just kind of discuss this with you as well. The amount that you want to donate is really up to you, obviously, where you're at. Some people are going to become cause crusaders because they don't have money at all to donate, which is totally fine. When I was in my marketing tab a minute ago, you could see I had some cause crusaders in there. Cause crusaders are donating time and effort versus money. So as soon as they've donated some time and helped the cause they're connected to raise a minimum of $500, they are then able to onboard into FollowFunding. They don't have to pay their $50 annual fee for the first year, and they get onboarded as if they donated the amount that they helped raise. So we have an answer for everybody, even if somebody can't donate anything. But the minimal amount you can donate is $20, and the maximum amount you can donate is $10,000. Now, during our beta bonus, a lot of people, you can max out your Dreamscape by donating $5,000, which would be the same after beta as if you donated $10,000. And the reason for that is normally it's up to 50% of what you yourself have donated, but during beta, we're doing a dollar for dollar match. So if you donated $5,000, you'd actually max out your Dreamscape. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. And anything that you donate is also cumulative as long as it's going to the same dream stream that you initially donated to. So if you go into your back office, and you go to your Dreamscapes page, you're going to see a green button on the Dreamscape. If you hit that button, it'll take you back to the original cause you donated to and allow you to make a subsequent donation as well. So let's say you donated $50 to get started to the initial Dreamscape. And of course, it divides the money up according to the qualifications and all that stuff of the connected dreams. But you could donate another 50, for example, and get qualified up. And again, during beta, all of your donations are still dollar for dollar. So, if you donated 100 and come back and donate another 100, you'd be qualified to receive up to $200. And that's per donation, not obviously at all. You can receive an unlimited number of donations at the qualification you're at. But the key here, and something you should really keep in your mind, is your goal should eventually to get your Dreamscape maxed out at that $5,000 mark. You can use some of the money that's coming in as you start promoting. And again, this isn't for people with deep pockets. This isn't just something for people that can go out and max out their Dreamscape from day one, but it's a goal. It's something you should strive to get to because it's going to help you fund your dream much faster. And, just to illustrate that, the company's qualified at $5,000. Let's say I had another individual that came in and got to that $5,000 mark where they were fully qualified. Well, if they go out and get a $10,000 donation, they would get their max $5,000. The other 5,000 would go to the company, but it would stop right there because that's up to 50% of what we have already donated to the community. In fact, I've donated hundreds of thousands to actually program this whole thing. So 5,000 is kind of a, again, but I'm playing by the same set of allocation rules as everybody else in this platform. So that's the cool thing about it. I built this for everybody, and I really built this because I'm passionate about helping people fund their dreams and make this a reality for everybody. And if it existed before, and if it was already out there, I wouldn't have built it. I would have just joined it and just started using it. But it had to be made, and it has to be, it has to be a force for good. That's what it's all about, is helping as many people as possible. But the thing I'm trying to say is, the cool thing about this is, as you start getting some donations, you can take some of that money and put it back into your dreams, back into your Dreamscape to up your qualification. So it is cumulative, but the goal is to get up to 5,000 as soon as you can, so that you can take advantage of that. But again, start wherever you're at. Even if you don't have money to start, you could start as a Cause Crusader, and tell people that too. If you're communicating with people about this and they say, you know what, I can't afford to make a donation right now, say, that's fine. Become a Cause Crusader, link yourself. Let's lock arms and work on this together. And as you start helping me achieve my dream, it's also going to be helping you achieve yours, because once you hit that $500 mark, we can onboard you directly into FollowFunding. You'll be connected to me, but you won't even have to have made a monetary donation. So the cool thing about this is, Cause Crusaders are like an extension of your marketing. If somebody really has a good cause or really is passionate about doing this but can't afford to do it, then we have a way. We have a path for everybody. And that's something I want you guys to think about. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. And again, if I'm sparking a question within you guys here, and man, I won't be able to see. I might have to, let me dim this a little bit here. Whew, that light is killing me. Hopefully you guys can see me all right here. When and how do we receive donations? So that's the next question. So we work with a third-party donation processor called ZiftPay. And you guys know this if you've been in your back office. Obviously, you first publish your Dreamscape, and then it lets you onboard yourself into the platform for the donation processor. The donation processor, and some of our early people were kind of on a weird payment schedule, and we're getting them fixed, so that won't happen. If you were getting early donations before the 7th and 21st, that will resolve itself moving on. But now what's going to be happening is, you'll see in your back office under donation history, you'll see processing, pending, and then deposited. So processing are obviously going through the processor. Once they're pending, they're sitting in the account over at ZiftPay with your name on it. And then on the 7th and 21st, minus fees, obviously they'll take their processing fees out, but they'll push that money right into your bank account. So it's a beautiful situation here. One of the things I was passionate about doing for our community, and again, a problem we solve within the crowdfunding space, is I didn't want it to be like, an Indiegogo or something like that, where you have to go all the way through to completion of your campaign before you get funded. And some of these crowdfunding platforms don't even allow you to get funded at all unless you hit your goal, which I thought was crazy, because obviously if somebody's in need or has something they need the money for, they should be getting that money incrementally along the way. So that's why we set it up like this. And believe me, it was not easy to get a donation processor. Crowdfunding is kind of a new thing, and it's competing with a lot of banks. So a lot of banks, like initially we went to Chase and we went to Wells Fargo and all these different people, and they had issues with it because, again, crowdfunding pretty much, is competing against them. Somebody could fund a business on this platform and not have to give up equity or take out a loan. That hurts the bank. So banks are kind of leery about it, and we had to go through quite a bit to get to the donation processor that we have, but we have a beautiful relationship with them. We're actually working directly with the owners of ZiftPay, so I communicate directly with the owners and their underwriting department and all that great stuff. So that was one of the things that really had to come to fruition before we could start this platform, is to get the right people in place to make it all happen. And that's one of the reasons it took about a year and a half to get all the coding and everything done, but then also the right parties in play to make this work for you guys. But again, a long answer to a short question. The 7th and the 21st, I could probably knock these out real fast, but I want to share with you guys and really give you some insight into what we're doing here. So are donations to me taxable? The answer is yes. Okay. Unless you're a registered 501c3, and you would know if you're a registered 501c3 because you have to go through a lot of rigmarole with the government to get that. So if not, now one thing you aren't doing is, because it's a peer-to-peer donation platform, we're not selling anything on our sites. This is why it has to be strict peer-to-peer. You know, I'm not even allowing people to like spoof, you know, give somebody like, oh, donate $200 and we'll give you a t-shirt or anything like that. Our attorney said we have to keep this very much a peer-to-peer crowdfunding platform in order to not have any possible issues. And issues with giving something like a free t-shirt or something like that when people make donations. Now, the company, myself, we're going to be doing some cool things. In fact, I've got a cool challenge that we're going to be rolling out here soon. And we're going to be doing cool things like apparel that we'll be giving out to different people and doing cool things like that. But it has to be from the platform itself. And the reason they said that is it's impossible for us to actually police the platform to that degree, making sure that people are following through. They're not just making these promises to people and then not fulfilling on them. And again, we're not trying to play any games here. We want people to get value out of this. We don't want anybody to abuse it. So we just took that away, that possibility of doing that. So if you're wondering why we don't allow you to say, donate $1,000 and I'll give you my book or something like that on the site, that's the reason that we do it. But again, the reason that donations are taxable is because if you're not a 501c3, that money will be coming into you. Now, the company Zift will be sending you a 1099 toward the end of the calendar year. It's going to be mailed to you. So we have your address on file. They'll send that to you. And I would suggest that you consult a CPA or a legal tax advisor on how to handle the money that's coming in. I know it's in the United States, at least, it's taxed at a little different rate because it's considered a gift, because you're not giving something to the person in exchange for the money. They're purely giving you a donation to support your dream, cause, or invention. So value is that individual paid taxes on that money when they gave it to you, before they gave it to you and they made a donation to you, but it still is taxable to some degree. And I'm not a tax professional and everybody's different. So make sure you consult a CPA, and that's the official word on our donations to me taxable. All right. How long will FollowFunding be in beta? I've been getting this question quite a bit because some people are getting money together and they want to make sure they get their Dreamscape maxed out before the dollar for dollar thing goes away. The answer to this is we have some little beta bugs we've been working out. We just squashed a bunch of them yesterday. And some of you guys have experienced some little issues along the way that we're fixing. If you see anything that needs to be fixed or anything that's bothering you or not working right, go to that having trouble link, okay, and fill out a support ticket. Just fill out your name, information, and just describe what problem you're having and on what page you're having that problem, and we will fix it. We're trying to get this perfect so we can go full production. And what I mean by full production is right now, I'm not going full on marketing. I haven't spent a dime yet on marketing, okay? I haven't pushed it out there. We're going to be doing a full on social media blitz. We're going to be doing a lot of, if you know my background, I'm big on direct mail. I spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on direct mail, just in postage. We haven't done any of that stuff. So I'm going to be doing that and getting that going, but I don't want to bog down the system if we have errors that need to be fixed. I don't want to bring on thousands of people at the same time and cause problems. So the answer to this question is, as soon as we feel like we're ready for full production, and my goal, what I'm shooting for, is right around the first of the year. But if we can get it done before that, we will. But full production mode is going to be crazy. It's going to be all out. Now, again, once we go into full production mode, that beta bonus will go away. Okay. This is one of those things. That's why we didn't mention it in the video or anything like that in the 8-minute video, because again, it's something special we're doing for our beta team because you guys are helping us figure out these little problems and little bugs along the way. So
Eric, can I say something about the process of getting something solved?
Yeah, hold on a second. I got this light in my eyes. Is that William? Who's talking?
No, it's Ray.
Oh, Ray. Yeah. What's up, Ray?
Well, just so everybody knows, I had a problem with Zip Pay, and I did a ticket. And the amazing part of it was I got an email back from Eric to give him a call, and he went and handled it directly. So that's the kind of leadership that we have here in this organization, is that he is hands-on and making sure everything works to the best of its ability.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ray. Yeah, I mean, this is my dream, guys. I'm passionate about making this thing go. And that helped. Like, Ray, your situation, that helped me understand how to make the process more. So what we're doing with ZipPay is we've been putting a lot of different things. I could show you guys so much stuff. I mean, they have their whole back office where they communicate with us through an API. And I get to see each person's account as it's moving through. We can reset a person to be resubmitted, all that kind of stuff. It's the one thing that's not in my control is ZipPay, because we have to have a very powerful partner that's got all the bank connections to make these finance connections. But thank you, Ray. Yeah, I mean, if you guys have problems, let me know. Right now in our back office, just to let you know, there's not a single problem in the help side. A support ticket that's open. Everything that we had on our plate was closed today. So that's how serious we are about answering questions and getting people resolved and moving forward. Remember, you guys can't start duplicating and start making connections and start funding your dreams until you're onboarded in these things. So our goal is to get people in, get them up, and get some money rolling their way sooner rather than later. So yeah, awesome. Okay. So that's how long we're going to be in beta. I don't quite know, but I'll tell you once we're out of beta, I'll announce that we're going out of beta and give you guys a little bit of a last minute push before we do that. But I'm shooting for around the first of the year, if not sooner. Okay. How long do I have to complete a campaign? That's a question here. You have an unlimited amount of time. It's not like, again, this is a problem I see in crowdfunding. Some of these campaigns that they force you into a little box and they say you got to get this amount of work done from this time to this time. I believe if you're trying to fund your dream and you actually post your Dreamscape and you have something really that you want to do, we'll work on it until we make it happen. And that's the key. So one thing I would suggest that you do, okay, and this is something that's kind of different. This is kind of a question that would be more, how much should I be asking for on my Dreamscape? If you're asking for a huge number, it's going to be difficult for the person that's reviewing your Dreamscape to wrap their mind around what you want to do. Okay. They might think, oh, there's no way they're going to get that much money or whatnot. So one of the things, and I had a conversation with somebody today, again, like Ray said, I'm actually calling people and communicating and figuring out problems and working on this thing day in and day out. One of the things we came up with for them was we could kind of compartmentalize their dream and say, okay, well, your dream really is like 3 phases. You want to do this first, you want to do this next, you want to do this last. So how much money do you need for phase 1? Let's define that and ask for that. And then in your Dreamscape, in the actual description, put, we're working on phase 1 of our dream, which is to do XYZ. We need 20,000 or 10,000 or whatever it is to do that first thing. And that way on the side, and you can adjust your goal. They have adjusted their goal to that lower amount so that little thermometer that moves up and down will move faster because it's a smaller number that they're going towards. Now, why would you want that to happen? Because when you start getting momentum on your Dreamscape, when people see that thermometer moving and they know money's coming in, that's social proof. That's social proof that you're actually making your dream happen. And when people feel compelled, they'll feel compelled that, hey, this guy's making, or this gal's making their dream come true. I can do it too. And people want to back winners. So when they start seeing that activity, they'll get behind it. You can always come back, right before your Dreamscape hits that number. And by the way, if it goes to 100% or above, it'll say 110% of goal or whatnot. So it's not like it's going to shut off. You can go back and adjust it and then thank them for helping you on phase 1, and your amount will stay over there. So if you go back and let's say your first goal was to make 20,000 and then you go and bump it to 40, it's still going to show that $20,000 that's been raised. So you're still going to have that activity. Now, if you're at 40, you're already showing that you're halfway to your goal. So that's going to help push people again. It's just a psychological thing. You see it on every crowdfunding platform. I mean, I spent hours and hours and hours and hours studying crowdfunding before all the problems and all the things that had to be resolved before I started my own platform, obviously. And that was one of the things that I saw. Most people that don't get momentum, that don't have some incremental activity happening, don't get funded fully. So something to think about. All right. What countries can use follow funding? Right now, because of Zift Pay, we are only available in the US and Canada. Okay. From a standpoint of utilizing follow funding to fund your own dreams, cause, or inventions. Now, first quarter of next year, they tell me we're going to be onboarding some additional countries, but I was fine rolling out with our, our MVP, our minimal viable product in the US and Canada, because there's so much opportunity in the US and Canada, two of the biggest countries of the top 5 in the world, with the crowdfunding space. So we've got a huge opportunity. Don't sit around and say, we've got US and Canada open, I'm going to wait until we open up Europe, or I'm going to wait until we open up the UK or whatever. Do this, start now. Let's start with what we have, and let's get your dream funded. Okay. The biggest thing that you can do to hurt yourself is make excuses and not take action and move towards your dream. Think about me when I had this dream of making this platform, and I was sitting there at my desk and I was just writing down ideas on how it was going to work on paper. It seemed insurmountable. It was impossible. How's this going to happen? And slowly I figured it out and started putting it together and got the right people in place and got the programming going. And, it was a little bit of effort over a long period of time put together that got us to where we're at today. Your dream is going to be the exact same thing. Now, there are some kind of hacks to this as well, which I don't know if you've thought about or not, but one of the hacks to getting funded quicker or making some cool things happen within your Dreamscape would be to connect yourself to somebody that has a lot of influence, to go out and find somebody that has, a big Instagram following or a big social media following of some sort. Or, think about this. How many people know, and I'll go to the very top of the pinnacle here, like, Tony Robbins and some of these guys, they'll fill stadiums of people who are all excited about their dreams. So the self-help industry, and this is one of the things I thought about when I did this, and I know some people in the industry that are going to be onboarding in here as well and coming in, and they're going to be linking to me, some of these people. But if you know somebody that has influence and you get them to donate on your Dreamscape, you have the same advantage as I do. It's the same thing. If you get somebody on who goes out and talks to their audience base and they have 5,000 people that they can communicate with, or 10,000 people, and those people start making donations and that person's directly connected to you, guess what happens to half the money that comes into their Dreamscape? It goes to you, if you're fully qualified, or if you've, depending on whatever your qualification is. So one hack to this, if you really want to get some activity happening quickly, is to rack your mind on who that has a lot of influence that hasn't seen this yet. And being in beta, there hasn't been a lot of people who've seen this yet. Right now, you've got the biggest opportunity to make a huge splash and make a lot of cool things happen. So if you're not sharing this now, you are losing out on a massive opportunity, because pretty soon everybody's going to know what this is. It's only a matter of time. Once it permeates into some of these big databases and people start talking about it. And some of the people I know that are onboarding here soon, like I have a meeting tomorrow with a guy that the last conference he did had 5,000 people there that paid over $1,000 just to be in the event. And he's a coach that teaches people how to market their businesses. I mean, that's only one group of people that came to his event. I mean, his audience base is much larger than that. So it only takes a couple whales like that onboard into this platform before it permeates out there in a big way. So consider yourself lucky that you were one of the first people to discover this in beta, and take advantage of this opportunity, because it is the best it's ever going to be right now. And you have got some opportunity right now to get some very connected people connected to you. So it's just something to think about. I don't know if you've thought about that or not, but that's something that's on my mind and one of my marketing strategies that I'm going to be employing as well. All right. Once I complete a goal, can I continue raising funds? We already talked about that. The answer is yes, you can. What is the Cause Crusader program? We already talked about that. What can I fund with Follow Funding? You can fund pretty much anything, any dream, cause, or invention. Remember kind of what I was talking about earlier. Whatever you're funding, try to fund or try to put together a dreamscape that people can kind of emotionally connect with. That's something that people buy with emotion. And this, even though they're not making a purchase, they're still making a contribution. They're still pulling out their credit card. So the same kind of psychological process happens with the person when they pull out their card. They buy on emotion generally. You know, what is this going to do for me? Maybe they're thinking about their own Dreamscape and they are in line with what you're talking about and they can see themselves aligning with you. Or maybe they just want to help. I mean, I've had people donate to Follow Funding that haven't even posted a Dreamscape. They don't want to, they just wanted to donate to the cause because they think it's cool that we're helping a bunch of people, manifest their dreams. There's going to be people who just donate to you and aren't necessarily, especially when you start communicating with people who know, like, and trust you, they may just want to help you achieve your dream and they don't know what their dream is yet. Okay. And there's going to be some people who don't know what they want to do yet, who could come on board as a cause crusader and kind of work with you and help you. And you can track their activity because you get a link in your back office that shows you what that person's helped you do. But once they come up with what it is they want to do, then they can onboard and post their dream. But even getting them on as a cause crusader still connects them to you and links them to you. So once they've helped you and they come on board, there's still going to be a connection. So keep that in the back of your mind. But what can be funded with Follow Funding? Pretty much anything. Make sure you read over the terms of use. If you have questions about anything, make sure. One of the things we've had problems with people already is using copyright material. You can't just go out and grab somebody's video and post it, or grab pictures that aren't royalty free. And I gave you a great resource in that video about building your Dreamscape, that Unsplash resource. If you need some cool photos, go to Unsplash and grab those. Those are 100% royalty free. Nobody's going to give you a hard time. You can download them and use them, as much as you want. So that's a beautiful site. But I think that's pretty much what I had to share with you for the frequently asked questions. And again, this lives on the blog, which is blog.followfunding.com. And I want to challenge you guys. Please go into the blog and comment on some of these articles, read them, comment, create some activity, because that's, again, social proof. The more people see people interacting with this, the more they're going to want to interact with it. So do me a favor and go in there and definitely do that. I'm going to go ahead and open it up now. I'm going to stop sharing here and unmute everybody. Actually, you know what? You can raise your hand. You all know how to do that. There's a little hand raiser thing. If you have a question or something I need to address, or a question that you want me to talk about, click that little raise your hand so I can see you. Not like physically raise your hand, but there's a little hand raiser there. Let me unmute everybody real quick. You all know how to do the hand raiser. Do you see that? If you have a question, I think there's a little button there. I'm pretty new to Zoom. I don't do a lot of Zoom. So Ray, you've kind of got a handle on this. Do you see where the hand raiser is, the little button there? I think it's might be under more, or is it pretty, is it right there?
I'm not really sure. What you can do is just unmute themselves.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, I'm going to mute everybody. Whoever has a question, if you do have a question, just unmute yourself and ask the question. I don't care what it is. If something's been bugging you or you don't know something, let's hear. I've got everybody unmute. I'm going to unmute everybody right now and just say yes if you've got a question. Anybody? Man, I must have knocked out every question.
Hi, Eric.
Hey, is that Mark?
Yes, sir. You always get my voice.
Let me mute everybody and I'll unmute you. Hold on a second, okay? Hold on a second. Mute and unmute. Okay. All right, Mark, you should be unmuted now. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I got you. Yeah. What's your question?
Unfortunately, I can see everybody, but I can't see my face. But that's all right. Now, I just want to say something, to second what Ray said earlier, that he had some issues with Zift, and he called you, and you were there for him. I just want to say the same thing, that Eric is one heck of a leader. If anybody has any questions, personally, I've been with him for years, and it's never disappointed me. So I just want to throw that in there, Eric.
Cool.
Kudos and thanks for everything.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. Yeah. And that's, I mean, I'm so passionate about this. I don't want anybody to stumble on this. I want everybody to have a great experience with it. And I do know, I mean, if you saw the code behind this, miles and miles of code. We've been coding this thing for 1.5 years. So there's going to be little bugs when you have that much code and that much stuff going on. And it's, it seems when you look at it from the surface, it doesn't maybe seem that intricate, but think about how it's tracking every single donation, every single qualification. It's creating pledge groups for people who come in who set a group but don't maybe finish it, so they can come back and complete their pledge groups and all sorts of cool stuff. So there's a lot going on under the hood here. And if you have any problems or anything you're running into, I need to know about it. That's what beta testing is all about. So please let me know. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and mute you again, Mark. Thank you for the comment there. I appreciate that.
You're more than welcome.
All right. So I'm going to mute everybody up again. All right. So maybe I should unmute everybody again and just have you all say if you have a question. All right. I've unmuted everybody again that has a microphone. If you have a question that needs to be addressed here or just something I need to clarify, please speak up.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Anybody out there got a question?
Sure.
All right. I'm going to mute everybody up here again. I guess not. So, yeah, I do want to point out, let me screen share again here one more time. All right. These articles, when you read through these, some of these articles are going to help you kind of wrap your mind around positioning. And you might think of somebody that a certain article might be perfect for. Remember, when you invite them to the webinar, for example, on that webinar link I told you about, or you send them to the registry page on your Dreamscape, you have a registry page and a regular page. The registry page is kind of an optional squeeze, but it asks them to put their information in. The reason we built that registry option is to get them tagged to you. Once they show up under the activity log, and that activity tag in your back office will show you exactly who's looking at it. I'm not going to go to my page because you'll see all these people that are checking out the site here. I want to keep their privacy. But on your activity tag or your activity tab, it's going to show you if that person is tagged to you. Once they are tagged to you, you can contact them and say, you know what, you should check out the blog. Now, they're going to be emailed as well once they're in the autoresponder campaign. The company is following up on your behalf, which there's no other crowdfunding platform that I know of that once you send somebody to your crowdfunding campaign, they actually follow up with your potential donors to make sure they complete their donation. We do that. So we're sending them to these things, and we have different emails and follow up and stuff. And again, everything we're sending and all these articles send the person back through Your Dreams Funded, which looks the person up, puts them back on the right Dreamscape. Now, somebody might have a question. Again, I'm kind of having to make up my own Q&A here tonight, but you might have the question, what happens if somebody's looked at multiple Dreamscapes? If somebody's looked at multiple Dreamscapes and they go to Your Dreams Funded, it's actually it's almost kind of like the Brady Bunch, you know, the little boxes open up. It shows the different Dreamscapes that person has looked at and allows them to pick where they want to go to make a donation. The reason we did that is this isn't like a business opportunity where you have to link yourself to one person. You could technically go out and make 5 different donations to 5 different individuals within this platform. You can't donate to yourself and you can't dream stack. That immediately gets you terminated from this violation of terms. But you could donate to, let's say you like Ray's deal. You know, you looked at his Dreamscape and you liked his. He came to you with it and you made a donation to him, but you already made a donation to FollowFunding, for example. You'd actually get 2 dream roots in your back office, each with its own qualification. So say you donated 100 over here and 1,000 over here. So this one would be qualified during beta at 100. This one would be qualified at 1,000. During our normal production, it would be at 50 and this would be 500. But you can then build out 2 different Dreamscapes. They'll each have their own websites and you can promote them simultaneously. So you can actually have multiple Dreamscapes within the same back office and you don't have to pay but one $50 annual fee to do it. So it's pretty cool the way it works. But the answer to that question is, what if they go to Your Dreams Funded and there's multiple Dreamscapes the person's looked at? It'll actually know that and display the different dreams. So a person can make a decision as to where they want to go donate. And that's one of the reasons too that we don't have, like, if you go to followfunding.com, it doesn't have just a directory of everybody's Dreamscape like a GoFundMe would. GoFundMe doesn't care who you donate to because they scrape, you know, they're actually getting their money from, they call them voluntary donations, but everybody does it on there. Or an Indiegogo who takes money off of platform fees plus processing fees. We don't do any of that stuff. So we don't, you know, the reason we don't do that where we have a directory is we don't want people going on there and shopping around and saying, oh, I was going to donate to Mark, but I like this other guy better, so I'm going to donate to this gal over here or whatever. We don't want somebody who's actually taken the time to get the word out about Follow Funding to lose a potential donor, if that makes sense. So we're trying to be true to you guys and to make sure that you have, when you get the word out, that the people that you got the word out to find their way back to your Dreamscape and make a donation to you. So hope that makes sense, but something I wanted to clarify because some of you guys might've been thinking about that and might not have known to ask the question. So I'm going to go back to you one more time. I'm going to wrap this up because I'm going to go have dinner. But I'm going to open it up one more time. I don't want to leave anybody's questions unanswered here. I appreciate you all taking the time to tune in to this Zoom, and I'm going to be doing more things like this. Like pretty soon we're going to have this cool challenge that I'm going to come up with here. I've already got it pretty much written out, but I'll clarify it. And we'll be doing some cool launches of different things within our platform and contests and cool stuff too, just to incentivize you guys to do what you should be doing anyway, which is going out there and spreading the word about your Dreamscape and making it happen. So let me stop my share here, come back to you all, and I'm going to unmute everybody. All right. So all participants are unmuted, the ones that are still here. If any of you all have a question, please speak up now or forever hold your peace tonight, at least.
I just want to say thank you for doing this. It got me excited and got me some new ideas that I can take into my Dreamscape tomorrow.
Perfect. Nice. Okay. Well, I appreciate that. And just remember, right now we have a unique opportunity to really, the world doesn't know about this, and it will eventually know about it. It'll be my goal is to make this a household name. And I believe that we're going to be doing enough good. One of the things I'm going to be doing as people start getting some inertia in their Dreamscapes is featuring people too. Like, I've got a podcast started and you guys can check it out. I've only done one episode so far, but one of the things we're going to do to feature people without putting them on the main site, because again, I don't want people to funnel their way off, but I still want to feature success and feature cool ways to use the platform. So we have a podcast, and right now it's on every major platform. You can get it on iTunes. I mean, any place you find podcasts, just search Manifesting Dreams or search Follow Funding. Actually, probably just search Follow Funding, but it's called the Manifesting Dreams podcast. And we're going to be featuring some of our members and talking about their dreams. And that's one of the things we're going to be doing as well for people who, who are really embracing the platform. So lots of cool things to do, and definitely want to help you guys any way I can. But thank you again for taking the time to tune in to tonight's Q&A, and I will post this on our YouTube channel, so you guys can have access to it if you need to go back or share it with people who missed it. But remember, there's an FAQ in your back office. Use that. It's actually searchable. Like if you have a question, like what, I'll share this. I can't not show you guys this.
Okay, Eric, before you go.
Yes.
I know you want to. Oh, wait a minute, screen change. But before you go.
I can still hear you, Mark. What's up?
Okay, I don't want to delay your dinner. But,
no, it's okay. It's okay.
Regarding the multiple Dreamscapes, I just got mine published.
Yep.
And I haven't had any activity yet.
Okay.
Even though, like I told you,
Yeah, I don't think you should start multiple Dreamscapes until you get traction on one. Focus on what you focus on expands. So make sure you focus on one dream. And it's kind of hard to really wrap your mind around two dreams and be sold on something you're doing.
Okay.
But that's more for a person that's already got one thing achieved, and maybe they have, or maybe they have kids they want to put through college and they need to raise money for their kids, but they also have a business they want to start or something like that where they're defined differences.
Yes, which I do. Okay, thanks.
Okay, cool. All right, so I did want to show you one more thing here, and this is in your back office, the help tab here, and this is a good way to wrap up the FAQ. This is a FAQ right here, frequently asked questions. Like, let's say you need to know, what do I need to put in my video? You can type video and you can find a video here that shows you what content should be in your Dreamscape. So some people might not have even looked at this resource yet, but we even made it searchable to make it easy, to do. So look through here, use this as a way of getting your questions answered. And then if you have a trouble ticket you want to file, click this having trouble, fill this out, put the description of what the problem is. And this comes right to It comes to my desk, it comes to my assistant's desk, and it comes to one of our programmers' desks. So we all see it. The people that need to see it. So take advantage of that. But thank you very much for being part of the Follow Funding community. And we're super happy that you are here and can't wait to help you manifest your dreams. But you all have a great night. And,
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'll see you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night, guys.
And bon appetit.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Good night, guys.
Good night. Thanks.
Bye.
Yep.